your host, Tandakan Batar. And for top stories, President Sokhna attends the opening ceremony of the Third Belt and Road Forum. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a slowdown of foreign payments and transactions. And Mongolia's city of Win selected as 2024 International Future Oscar entry. And for the news, stay tuned. The President of Mongolia, Sokhna, graced the opening ceremony of the Third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation on October 18, 2024, held in Beijing. The forum, spanning from the October 17th to October 20th, 2023, revolves around the theme High-Quality Belt and Road Cooperation Together for Common Development and Prosperity.
In his opening address, President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China highlighted the significance of the Belt and Road Initiative, which draws inspiration from the historical Silk Road. This initiative places a strong focus on enhancing global connectivity through improvements in policy, infrastructure, trade, financial, and people-to-people links. Its mission is to reinvigorate the global economy, create fresh opportunities for global development, and establish a modern platform for international economic cooperation. President Xi Jinping also outlined 8 significant steps that China aims to take in the coming decade to support high-quality Belt and Road collaboration, which involves cooperation with over 150 countries and almost 20 international organizations. These steps encompass the establishment of comprehensive Belt and Road connectivity network, promotion of an open global economy, advancement of green development principles, scientific and technological innovation, and so on. The Third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation encompasses 3 high-level forums dedicated to connectivity, green development, and the digital economy. Furthermore, there are 6 thematic forums addressing trade, connectivity, people-to-people communication, think tank exchanges, the Clean Silk Road, subnational cooperation, and maritime collaboration. This important event has attracted participation from heads of state and government representing 23 countries, including Mongolia and President Sokhna, the Russian Federation, the Czech Republic, the Lao People's Democratic Republic, the Republic of Serbia, and the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, underscoring the global relevance of the forum and its potential impact on international cooperation and development.
The Mongol Bank organized a user group meeting for the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, or SWIFT organization, in Mongolia. This meeting was arranged with the social distancing measures in consideration of the heightened international geopolitical tensions due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Initially, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, or SWIFT service user group meeting was conducted through social media. However, due to delays in foreign payments following the COVID-19 pandemic, Mongol Bank organized the meeting in a physical venue for the first time post-pandemic in Mongolia. This SWIFT service is extensively utilized by banks globally, including those in the USA and Russia, enabling easier and more secure payments. Countries worldwide have already adopted the latest ISO 2023 standard for this service. The goal is to fully implement this standard in Mongolia by November 2025, allowing for swift foreign payments and transactions to be completed within 3 to 4 hours.
Over the past 2 to 3 years, the COVID-19 pandemic and escalating geopolitical issues have exacerbated challenges in Mongolia's foreign payment system. In response, the central bank is outlining its initiatives for the upcoming year and arranging a meeting with Mongolian banks to offer enhanced support and opportunities to both banks and customer organizations engaged in financial transactions. A primary focus for the coming year will be on bolstering the security aspect of payments, is distinguishing between legitimate transactions and potential money laundering activities. Starting next year, SWIFT will unveil new products with a particular emphasis on expediting payment processes. The introduction of the new SWIFT Go product is imminent, which will enable a broader user base to complete transactions of up to $10,000 or 10,000 euros within a span of 4 hours without the need for a dedicated server, just for individual banks. Today, we are deliberating the implementation of this system in Mongolian banks and financial institutions with the aim of eventually offering it to consumers in the future. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
City of Wind was selected as Mongolia's entry for the 2024 International Feature Film Oscar. This film, directed by Saugdolan Puruwachur, has gained recognition not only in Mongolia but also internationally. It's interesting to note that it's co-production between Mongolia, France, Portugal, the Netherlands, and Germany. After premiering at the Venice International Film Festival and making its North American debut at the Toronto International Film Festival, it seems to be making quite an impact. The fact that newcomer Turgut Balderden won the Horizonte Award for Best Actor at the 80th Venice International Film Festival adds to its accolades. It's also noteworthy that international rights for the film were acquired by Best Friend Forever. The story of City of Wind seems intriguing, focusing on a 17-year-old shaman named Z and his dual life as both a shaman and dedicated student. It will be fascinating to see how it competes at the Academy Awards in the International Feature Film category, representing Mongolia among films from 53 different countries.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Here's the international news from our partner agencies. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says British intelligence services are rapidly analysing the evidence to independently establish the facts behind the devastating explosion at a Gaza hospital. Sunak urged lawmakers in the House of Commons not to rush to judgment about the explosion at the Al-Ahli hospital, which Hamas blames on Israel and Israel blames on Palestinian militants.
I know the whole House will have been shocked by the scenes at Al-Ali Hospital. Any loss of innocent life is a dreadful tragedy, and everyone will be thinking both of those who have lost their lives and the families that they leave behind. We should not rush to judgment before we have all the facts on this awful situation. Every member will know that the words we say here have an impact beyond this House. This morning, I met with the National Security Advisor, but also the chair of the Joint Intelligence Committee. I could tell the honourable gentleman our intelligence services have been rapidly analysing the evidence to independently establish the facts. We are not in a position at this point to say more than that, but I can tell him we are working at pace, but also cooperating and collaborating with our allies on this issue as we look to get to the bottom of the situation, and we will also continue all our efforts to get humanitarian aid into the region.
The Hamas militant group blamed the blast on an Israeli airstrike, while the Israeli military blamed a rocket misfired by other Palestinian militants. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry revised the death toll from an explosion at the Gaza City Hospital down from 500 to 471 on Wednesday, but didn't elaborate on how authorities reached that figure. Opposition leader Keir Starmer, meanwhile, said he had met with the families of some of the British hostages held by Hamas in Gaza.
The humanitarian crisis is unfolding.
Olivier Véran, the spokesperson for the French government, says 21 French citizens have died in Hamas attacks on Israel and 11 remain missing and are being missed by their family and their country.
Concernant les récents développements de la situation au Moyen-Orient,
Véran reiterated French President Macron's condemnation of the attack on the Al-Ali hospital in Gaza, but said the origin of the strike must be made known. France is waiting for more information to make that determination. The spokesperson also said the numerous bomb threats that were being called in on public monuments in France, prompting evacuations of airports. Versailles Palace and the Louvre have to be taken seriously and investigated on a case-by-case basis in coordination with the police, given that France has been struck and Belgium was also just struck by an attack.
alors je ne parlerai pas de psychose, il y a de la peur, elle est légitime.
I wouldn't say psychosis. There is a fear and legitimacy because the country was struck. Belgium was struck, and we've been speaking since the start of this briefing about the impact of the Middle East situation on European countries. But fear mustn't be by no means paralyzing, and this is what the terrorists are waiting for: to terrorize us, terrorize us. We can be vigilant, and I prefer to speak about a vigilant society. The duty of vigilance, yes, and when there are alerts that are made, we will evaluate them in coordination with the police on a case-by-case basis. Vigilance, yes, fear, no, and even less so terror and not psychosis. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson on Wednesday paid a tribute to the 2 Swedish soccer fans killed this week in Brussels, calling for Swedes to continue standing up for our values. One of the many things that we have to do is return to a situation where all Swedes should be able to walk around Sweden and the world and be proud Swedes and wear one's flag on the lapel of one's jackets or wear one's national team shirt or in other ways show that you're Swedish. We have so much good that has come out of Sweden being around the world, and we should be proud of what Sweden is and stand up for it. We must defend what is Sweden, and we can do that partly by standing up for our values, but also by tightening security. We need to tighten security in many different ways to ensure that our values and our way of life are safe and protected.
Investigators are still trying to determine the motive for Monday night's attack, which happened not far from where Belgium's men's soccer team was hosting Sweden in a European Championships qualifier. The suspect was shot dead by police on Tuesday morning, Belgian Interior Minister Annelies Verlinden said, and the weapon believed to have been used by the men was recovered. Sweden recently raised its terror alert to the second highest level in August after a series of public Quran burnings by an Iraqi refugee living in the country resulted in threats from Islamic militant groups. Sweden's National Sports Confederation, a body which oversees the various sports associations in the country, on Tuesday published a list of preventive measures for fans traveling abroad for sporting events.
In downtown Lisbon, hundreds of people, including members of the Palestinian diaspora from around the world, gathered to advocate for peace in the Middle East, rallying under the banner "At the aggression to Gaza, peace in the Middle East." The recent conflict between Israel and Hamas has been the deadliest for both sides.
According to the Gaza Health Ministry, 3,478 individuals have lost their lives in Gaza, with over 12,000 sustaining injuries. The majority of casualties are women, children, and the elderly. Additionally, health authorities reported that approximately 1,300 people in Gaza may be trapped beneath rubble, either alive or deceased.
I think the message today is, it's not just about this latest flare-up of violence. This has been going on for more than 75 years. These plans to depopulate Palestine, to remove the Palestinians, has been going on since the late 1800s. So this is just the latest flare-up of violence. And everybody wants to talk about who did what, 2 weeks ago or a month ago or a year ago. But you have to look back, and until that historic injustice is corrected, there will always be more and more violence. And that's the real root cause of the problems, and that's what we have to fix.
It's not complicated as people think it is. Despite, if we don't want to think about the 70 years back of oppression, of occupation, of apartheid, it's fine. Think about it now. There are kids that are being killed on a daily basis.
In Israel, more than 1,400 people, primarily civilians, have lost their lives due to Hamas' aggressive actions, which included the taking of approximately 200 hostages into Gaza. Gaza-based militants have launched rockets towards cities across Israel on a daily basis. While Israel has amassed troops along the border, no official decision has been made regarding a ground invasion into Gaza, as stated by military officials.
It's not about peace. You cannot come and tell me as a Palestinian, let's fix it with peace. We have been living this for years now, and we have been affected by it directly. Every Palestinian family has a martyr, every Palestinian family has a prisoner. We're affected by it day by day. Peace is not the solution. We need liberation. This is what we need. We need liberty from occupation, from the apartheid, and then we can speak about peace. I just cannot stand it when people start speaking about peace. It's not peace what we need liberation.
A strike on a 3-story building in Gaza City resulted in the tragic loss of 40 lives on Wednesday, and another strike on a bakery in the Nuseirat refugee camp claimed the lives of 4 bakers, according to eyewitness accounts. The Israeli military asserts that its targets include Hamas hideouts, infrastructure, and command centers, while accusing militants of using civilians as shields.
Here's the weather forecast of all major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow.